You're a good soldier, choosing your battles. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. When you fall, get up, oh, oh, and if you fall, get up, eh, eh. Samina, mina, sangalewa, cause this is Africa. Samina, mina, eh, eh, waka, waka, eh, eh. Samina, mina, sangalewa, this time for Africa.
Welcome everybody. So let's take a look at the latest feature, the Alliance Conquest, and it's the playoffs. So how it works is that you would have done your overall prediction before it started, and you can see I've got BCL and the Cartel in the final with BCL winning. And then what you do is, as the rounds progress, if you're successful with your predictions, you're then able to get rewards. So these are the rewards that you can get. So far I've gotten 12 correct, which allows me to get that reward, and these rewards are claimable at the end of the event. So if I get 62 correctly, this is what I win, but I'm not that good. So what else can you do? Well, this is the fantastic part. You're actually able to wager. So you're able to place bets, and you place bets using the prediction feather. So let's have a look at some of the bets that I made already. Yesterday I made a bet between TW0 and UTA. I made a mistake and ended up betting everything, and I was quite lucky that TWO won. And then I also bet with FDH, and we can see FDH won. So as a result, my predictions, what I bet was doubled. So that is very good. And here we can see my total amount of prediction feathers. You are also able to obtain these by gathering, attacking rebel leaders, alliance help, and weirwood trials. And you can spend them in the shop, and you can see you can get some nice 7-day coupons in terms of castle skins. So that's really nice, and you can get some speed ups and some spirits of the weirwood tree. So that's really nice. So let's go and have a look at some of the predictions coming up and how it works. So the next phase that we're on, if we go and have a look over here, just so we can see, we're sitting on round 2 now. So round 1 happened and round 2 is on the 5th. Yes, on the 5th, I think there is a way. That's just mine, no. If we go to the rules, it tells you more about the rules and how it works. If we have a look at the Ultimate Conquest and the Casual mode, this is what we're doing. We're doing the prediction at the moment, and then the result prediction. And important part to note here is about the handicap. So what it means with the handicap is that in order for your alliance to win, and if it has a handicap, then your alliance's building occupation points must surpass that of Alliance B by a value greater than or equal to the handicap. So what does that mean, and how does it work? So for this match here with Bloody Eclipse, they would have to have a building occupation point of 65,000 greater than what TNR gets. So 65,000 is actually a huge amount. TNR would have to get they would have to have less than 10,000 building occupation points, and Bloody Eclipse would have to occupy every building in order for you to get your rewards. So that sounds simple in theory. However, I do know some alliances have felt bad and they've actually abandoned some buildings in order for the other alliances to at least get some points. That will, however, mess up with the handicap, and you might not win and get your feathers back because of that handicap. So very important that you actually know what the game strategy is of the alliances that you're betting against. If you click on them, you're able to see their power, all of the different powers. If you're also not sure who the top alliances are, the good way is just go back to your rankings, have a look then at your world ranking, and have a look at the alliance. Well, that's the individual ranking, but let's have a look at the alliance power rankings. So we can see there's BCL right at the top, followed by N30O, the Cartel, BTS, Run, and Red. Also, the alliance elimination points could be used when it comes to placing your bets. So let's go and have a look. Who would I bet? This is a tough one. I think I'm going to wager. So it tells me here I can only do my prediction on the 5th of September. I think I'm going to put my money on BCL. If I have a look at this one, FDH did really nicely. It's a bit of a handicap. So you can't always just go by the power. You have to really take that handicap into account. This is an interesting one, BTS versus Kingsguard. That 64,000 is a really tough handicap to beat. It would require BTS to occupy all of the buildings. Yeah, even here is an interesting one. We've got RUN versus NDM. I actually predicted this one, so this is good to see. However, that handicap makes me a little bit hesitant when it comes to actually placing the bet. That 52,000 is a lot of occupation points, and NDM is a really good alliance that works really well together. So this one's a tough one. I'm not quite sure. I might put my wager actually on NDM and see what happens. And then these are the other ones. The Cartel again, big wager, but they did really well previously. So I might put my money again on the Cartel. N30O, yeah, I think I'm going to go with them. They've also done really well. Versus 2W0. VRM versus All for One. So this is an interesting one. I actually might put my money on VRM, even although they invaded my kingdom. Yeah, so I think that one I'm going to put my money on VRM. Interesting one over here. German Jokers lost the previous round. And they're now playing against the Taiwanese, so I'm not quite sure. This one's a fairly close match. It also really depends how many players they have online at the time. I think a lot of alliances got caught off guard with the early matches after they had signed up, so I'm sure that will be better this time round, and they'll have more participation points. But I would say let's just have a look at their most powerful players. They've got 3 players over 1 billion and SIG. Yeah, they've only got 1 player, but they've got 1 really powerful player. It's an interesting one. I might put my money actually on NOS. And then as you see, you can do all of the other ones. ETA versus MAD will be interesting to see. I might put my money on MAD, actually. Maybe they're good at invading kingdoms, but not necessarily good at alliance conquest. So yeah, that's how it is. And very important, once these matches actually start, you can then go in and watch the match. the map will appear the same. However, you'll notice that the mini map disappears, is no longer on the top right. Instead, you've got the map at the bottom. So you can click the map over there, and it will then show you who's occupying what buildings, which players are occupying, and you can click on the buildings that way. And then you'll also have, I think it's a battle log, which then shows you the elimination points and the healing points, so you can have a look at as that progresses, and you can click for the exits. And you're able to jump in between the different matches, so that's fantastic. It's just like watching it on your television, and you're able to flick through the channels and find the alliances that you're interested in. And of course, on the top over here, you would have your normal drop down where you're able to see what the actual scores are. And sorry, one last thing. In order to see what the results are at the moment, you click the competition, and you can see there's round 1, who played against who, and who won. And here's round 2, and this will then progress. So here you can see the ones who actually won are marked in, are highlighted, versus the ones who didn't win. Yeah, so the ones who won versus the ones who didn't, and the ones who won go into the top league over here, and the ones who didn't win come down here, and then it moves about. So that's also another thing you can use in order to see whether the alliance you're betting against actually won, and what the scores were. Right, so here are the little points. I think it then tells you who scored the most amount of points in that round. So we can see BCL is sitting at the top, followed by who's in second place. I see third place is the Cartel. Here's second place, Run. So Run coming in at second place. So at the moment, BCL, then Run, then the Cartel. So it looks like my predictions are really good. Let's wait and see what happens. And in order to improve your predictions, so once you click competition, you're then able to click the shield icon, and the shield icon will then tell you how many they've won. So remember, the first Alliance Conquest was 8 matches, so it's now been added to it. So here we can see 9, and this was the last one that they won. You can see they scored 81,000 points, and you can click on more details to see the elimination points, the healing points. So that's really useful as well. Yes, so you're able to click on all of these shields. So BCL versus TNR, we can see that TNR has won their last one. They scored 63,000 points. Good thing to see as well is the number of deployed troops, so the number of players who were involved in the last one. So here we've got Taiwanese versus Ash, and I think this one was played really early in the morning. There we go, at 1 o'clock. And so not a lot of players were actually aware that the match was taking place. However, they'll be doing much better next time round because they'll be better prepared. Another useful place to look for information is you've got your Alliance Power rankings, and Alliance Elimination rankings. But if you go to the cross server, we can have a look at the Alliance Conquest points. So you can see the Alliance Conquest points for the individuals, the Alliance Conquest points for the various alliances. That could be a good indicator. So there's lots of information you can use to place your bets. So this is really good. Those are my predictions for round 2. Yes, those are my predictions for round 2. As I say, the rules are over there. What are your predictions? How are you doing so far? Are you getting some of these prediction feathers, or are you being really cautious? Let me know.
And now
jungle.